The finale for Bluey's third season has finally aired, and it couldn't have been more heartfelt or wholesome. The episode titled Surprise is about what it's like to have children, including caring for them despite surprises and challenges getting in the way. Like most episodes, the message and theme are told through games and make-believe. But through Bandit's efforts to spend time with both his daughters, the message becomes clear. In today's episode, we'll recap everything that happened in Surprise, and how meaningful specific moments between the healers are to Bluey and Bingo's development. The finale begins as Chili cleans the kitchen with Bluey and Bingo playing around her. Bingo tries in vain to reach the can holders, that she calls stubbies, from the top of the fridge. And when Chili offers to help get them down, Bingo explains she's pretending to have children so she needs to use them. Their conversation prompts Bluey to ask Chili if she'll have children one day, which foreshadows the events at the end of the episode. She also asks what it's like to have children, but the answer is complicated and Chili has a hard time putting it into words. Likely because having children is made up of many complicated feelings and experiences. The sisters get distracted when Bandit enters the kitchen and asks him to play. Although he's in the middle of watching a race on television, he can't bring himself to say no, agreeing to play while following the girls into their playroom. When he asks what they want to play, Bingo says children, while Bluey says surprise, with each of them diving into a detailed explanation about their specific games. Since the two girls are talking over one another, Bandit can't understand what they're saying, but he agrees to go along with playing two games at once. As Bluey runs away to hide with her toy, Bandit must sing one of Bingo's children, Copernicus, to sleep. To go find Bluey, he takes Copernicus on a walk while singing a lullaby. However, he stops in the living room to watch the race, becoming distracted by how well the Australian racer is doing. Unfortunately, his viewing is cut short when Bluey appears from beneath a beanbag using her toy that shoots balls to blast at her dad. He's not able to get out of the house, so he's sent to the hospital. We can see that the healers have since moved back into their old home, with much of their furniture returned to their rightful places after they nearly moved to a new city. Bandit returns to the playroom where Bingo is, claiming the location is safe to prevent Bluey from attacking him. Bluey rushes off to hide while Bingo approaches with a tricycle. Bandit tries to excuse himself to watch the game, but Bingo reveals more children, giving Bandit numerous tasks to complete. He asks Bluey to play the same game as them, because if they don't play the same game, they won't be able to get out of the hospital. He asks Bluey to play the same game as them, because if they don't play the same game, they won't be able to get out of the hospital. Bandit goes about completing every task given to him by Bingo, caring for her children while trying to watch the race, and searching for Bluey in her previous hiding spot. He commits to Bingo's game, talking to her stubby children as if they need reassurance, while riding the tricycle. Although he's playing numerous games, Bandit's ability to balance so many different things, with surprises lying in wait to make things more difficult, is a perfect representation of how hectic parenting can be. Bandit becomes distracted by the race until the doorbell rings. When he goes to open the door, Bluey hides behind it, waiting with the toy to launch a sneak attack against her dad. Again, Bandit has no choice but to race through the house to the safe point, partaking in a victory dance until Bingo tells him he forgot to pick up Copernicus, which sends Bandit back into the house, exclaiming to the attacking Bluey that he's trying to raise kids. Distracted, Bandit runs into the kitchen without looking and trips over the bucket Chili was using to mop. He launches into the air in slow motion, where he regathers Bingo's children to hold them tightly in his arms. When Bandit hits the floor, he curls himself around the stubby children to protect them. Despite being hurt and reluctant to stand from the floor, Bandit begins singing a lullaby, as if his sole priority in those moments should be to comfort the children in his arms. Chili, who witnessed the entire event, excitedly explains to Bluey that what Bandit just went through is what having children is like. It seems that Bandit and Chili would protect their children and put their needs first no matter the circumstances or how they're feeling. However, they've already shown their capability to do so time and again. Throughout the series, Bandit then retreats to Bingo, utterly exhausted, where she tells him She's had another child. When Bluey tries to hide again, he also tells her it would make things much easier if she played the same game as him in Bingo, likely because he's running out of energy to keep up with the surprises. Bluey refuses, claiming she's only borrowing the toy from their next door neighbor Chucky until the end of the day. Bandit allows her to keep playing, as Bingo tells him that her newest child, Furnican, needs to go to the hospital. Bingo sends him to the backyard where the hospital is under the tree, and he talks to Furnican about how his difficulties won't hold him back because he has siblings and parents who will support him every step of the way. Bluey, who was hiding and overheard Bandit's words, decides to step in and play with him in Bingo. She claims she's Furnican's sister and can help look after him, likely so Bandit can have a break. Happy by this turn of events, Bandit claims that children will always surprise him. A time skip follows, opening with the healer house surrounding the house. Bingo and Bingo are now in a relationship, and Bingo are surrounded by a futuristic neighborhood, complete with drones delivering packages and windmills providing power. Bluey's car pulls up to her childhood home, and when she rings the doorbell, Chili walks past numerous robotic appliances to let her inside. Much older now, Chili has gray hairs in her fur and a pair of glasses. When she answers the door, an adult Bluey is revealed with fluffier fur, a hair tuft, and graying hairs of her own, looking much similar to Bandit. She stops in to surprise her parents with a visit, as Chili calls for Bandit to come greet their eldest daughter. With more gray hairs added to his design to show his age too, Bandit seems to have grown out his hair, possibly returning to the mullet he once loved and lost. Coincidentally, Bingo is also visiting her parents, as Chili claims she's in the backyard before leading Bluey away. Before Bandit can join them, someone else rings the doorbell. However, when he opens the door, no one is there. The camera pans out to show a healer puppy, perhaps 3 or 4 years old, hiding behind the door with an upgraded version of the toy Bluey had throughout the episode. The unnamed puppy wags their tail, but hearing the toy start up, Bandit realizes where his grandchild is and what's about to happen. The scene directly parallels the one between Bandit and Bluey earlier in the episode, showing that Bluey's child takes after her in more ways than one. The episode ends there, but there are many things we can learn from the glimpse into the future that could foreshadow events in Bluey's future seasons. The first is that Bluey grows up following in her parents' footsteps. When Chili approaches the front door during the flash forward, there is a changing photo frame hanging on the wall of Bluey holding a degree. She's joined by her parents and Bingo, who celebrated her accomplishment with her. It's unknown what degree Bluey holds, but as Chili has glasses in the picture as her older designed is, Bluey likely attends college, like we know Bandit must have to work as an archaeologist. The frame also shows a picture of an adult Bingo who seems to take after her parents' love for travel and backpacking as she stands before a monument. More importantly, we see that Bluey does decide to have children as her child appears at the very end of the episode. The young healer has a muted color scheme with purple undertones. They look more similar to Uncle Stripe's side of the family this way. They also have a bent ear and a fluffy coat. They can't help grinning and wagging their tail as they prepare to take their grandfather by surprise, sharing the same energetic and fun-loving spirit that Bluey is known for. Bluey is one of the most well-loved children's series today, and it's easy to see why. Through episodes like Surprise, the stories perfectly capture what it's like to raise a family and care for children. Bandit and Chili are praised as some of the best parents on modern television as they're dedicated to giving their children the best lives they can, by protecting, caring for, and supporting them no matter what. Bluey likely follows their example while raising her children, and the season finale couldn't have had a more wholesome ending.